Are you ready to take a look at the May 2025 marketing stats for the housing market in New Albany, Ohio? I hope so, because we're ready to jump in. First off, we're going to look at the number of listings that sold in the month of May. And you can see that it jumped up to 61. And it's been down in the 30s, and last month it was even, I think, 25. Yes, 25. So we saw a big pop up in the number of listings sold. And then what's interesting though is the price point for these homes were significantly lower than what we were, let's say it would be 12 months ago or so, 10 to 12 months ago. So wanted to point that out. It was a very active market, but the price points were a little bit different than what we were over in this area. Months of inventory, that's the topic that I always really hone in on. And what you're seeing here is that it is climbing up. So we are around 2.5 months of inventory. Once we get 4, that's where we really start to feel we're in more of a balanced market, the 4 to 6. And then of course over 6 is more of a buyer's market. So what that means, if you're a seller, you need to think about really being much more strategic in your price point when you're listing your home. You also need to make sure that the agent that you're hiring is doing everything they can to get your home noticed. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out and I'll give you my marketing approach when I take on a listing. The number of months on inventory is shifting up, so just be aware of that. The the sold to list ratio, that's still over close to 100%, so that's amazing. That's a good thing. Days on market, you'll see that came down pretty significantly. It is up over April, but when you look for the 4 to 6 months ago, it was much higher. Part of that has to do with the market though, because you have fewer buyers that are in the market in January and February. This really just has to do with, the homes that are listed on the market that I don't find as much interest in. But what I do want to point out is year over year, the absorption rate, the months of inventory, increased 14%. So that's a pretty significant increase. The other thing that's really interesting is the days on market. So the end of May 2024, it was 13. This year it's 26. So it has doubled. So again, just level set the expectation if you're putting your house on the market that it's not where it used to sell in a weekend. We're moving outside of that market. Just wanted to share those stats with you. We're starting to see things level out more and more. I'm seeing more concessions for the buyers, so they are asking for a little more back from a seller. So just keep that in mind. And as always, I'm here for you. If you have any questions, want to dig into the data with me a little bit more, I would be happy to do that. Sheila Howe, Red One Realty, and do all those things so you can continue to get these market updates. Awesome. Thank you.